So, dear friends, we are almost at the end of January. So many things have taken place. Important is the Republic Day we have just celebrated. And also in this week, we have many events that are of note, a special importance also to us personally in our spiritual life, in the life of the church, and also some saints that we remember. So this Sunday is considered as the fourth Sunday in the ordinary time, and we have a beautiful message. As usual, God speaks to us, and the message is about the prophet. The prophet. Perhaps someone can ask, who is a prophet? We see some old figures in the calendars or perhaps in the books of bearded people, very strange and very frightful. These are the pictures, but anyone can be a prophet. Anyone can be called to be a prophet. Jesus had triple role, we call it. Jesus was, first of all, the king. We celebrate the feast of Christ the King, and of the season as such, beginning of the Advent season. Christ as the priest, always, because Christ is the one who first offered the sacrifice. And Christ also plays the role of a prophet. And so a prophet is someone who speaks on behalf of God. On behalf of God. In fact, a prophet is one who interprets the will of God. It's not easy to be a prophet. There's a beautiful sentence in the Gospel which says, no prophet is welcome in his own country, in his own hometown. In fact, no prophet is welcome anywhere. People like to avoid prophets. People like to keep them away because they are the persons who speak the truth. And nowadays, perhaps truth is a very costly commodity. No one wants to say the truth. No one wants to speak the truth. And perhaps we try our best to hide the truth as such. The first reading is from Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15 to 20, where Moses tells the people that God will raise a prophet like me from among you, which means every one of us is called to be a prophet. A prophet is not just a person perhaps who is old, looks very frightful. No, every one of us is a prophet. A prophet is one who speaks the truth. And so perhaps we can even say that one who speaks the truth shares the prophetic role of Christ. Moses tells the people that, there are good prophets, there are bad prophets also. The bad prophets who try to compromise, who try to shade and to color in such a way that this is also okay, that is also okay. We call it compromise, making compromises. And so Moses says that, and God says that I will put my words in his mouth. Jesus' beautiful sentence when he says, when you are in these difficult situations, when you are led before kings and people who will try to persecute you, you don't have to say anything. I will put my words in your mouth. And so Moses says, I will put my words in your mouth, and you are supposed to say what I inspire you or what I say to you. Then you are a good prophet. But perhaps if he speaks a word which is not commanded by me, the reading says you will die. You will die because you can't speak lies on behalf of God. This is the strong rule of the prophet. The second reading also speaks of what we call dedicating ourselves completely to God. St. Paul says, of course, marriage is good, but a person who is married has to be busy with his family, with his wife and children, house, and therefore perhaps he may not have as much time for others as he should be. And therefore, if you are unmarried, you can totally dedicate yourself to God. St. Paul is not making a comment about marriage, but about being able to serve the Lord fully or partially. As a prophet, you are a full-time prophet. You can't be a part-time to say that I will speak when perhaps some days of my life I will dedicate, I will say, other days I will go on as my mind says or perhaps my heart dictates. No, a prophet is a prophet for all times. And see in the gospel this a particular what we call uneasiness on the part of the people to accept Jesus as prophet. Because Jesus, first of all, in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 1, verse 21 to 28, Jesus cures a person, rather, he drives away the evil spirit from a person. A person was brought in front of him and struggling because to be gripped by the devil in his slavish hands, as it were, it's terrible. There are many people who are succumbed to the devil and they can't get out of it. Sad. And so Jesus drives away this devil, this evil from this man, and he is liberated. And people are all surprised. You know the beautiful expression that comes from their mouth to say that not only to say that a new teaching with new authority, a new teaching with authority, because so far people spoke, perhaps even those who were considered as prophets spoke, but there was no authority. This man, that is Jesus, speaks and does. He speaks the truth, and at the same time he fights with the devils, he rather wages a battle with the devil and sends them away. And the people are very much happy with Jesus. Perhaps this is our prophetic role. All of us are called to play a prophetic role in our own life. Perhaps you can say that I can't go and preach to the world about this and that. Not necessary. In the place that you are in authority. Exercise your authority well, perhaps in your family, to teach your children what is correct, what is not correct. In your office, perhaps there is so much evil there that people have to tell lies, you have to take bribes, you have to perhaps do certain things which are not very good enough. But then the prophetic role demands of you to speak on behalf of God and to interpret God's will for the others. As I said, this is not a role only for priests and religious, it's a role for everybody. So all of us are called to exercise our prophetic role.